Hi, Laura. Nice to see you.
Hello. It's very nice to see you as well.
Thank you for joining me this afternoon.
Of
It's an honor
course.
and a privilege to speak with you.
Well, thank you.
I would like to thank Nicole Pender from Pender PR for setting this up.
Nicola Pender.
Nicola.
Yes.
Why did I say Nicole? I'm sorry.
Well, her the woman that works with her name is Nicole.
I know. And
So it gets
Nicole's
very
been sending me
confusing.
stuff too. So,
But they're both wonderful humans.
yes, they are. I've been dealing with Nicola for a while. So,
Yeah, she's fantastic. Shout out to publicists.
yes, they did get one shout out on the Academy Awards.
Yeah, and well deserved. Publicists, they are the unsung heroes of the
Yep.
film industry.
So, as I mentioned, I got to see your film. Finished it about an hour ago. It packs a wallop of a punch. I was unprepared. Um, thank goodness I've got a good supply of Kleenex.
Yes, I recommend tissues when
So
watching
do
this
I. Yes, so do I. As somebody who just finished watching it.
movie.
Um, First question: was it shot on film? Because I noticed before each edit, up in the right corner,
You
there's the
noticed.
little spark.
You noticed.
Yes,
No, it wasn't.
because I
But
noticed that because I took an editing course at the Vancouver Film School and we edited on film.
amazing. So that is my little homage to
Oh, okay.
film. We grained up the picture as well. It's way too expensive and cost prohibitive to shoot on film. It's really, I would love to be able to shoot on film, but it just doesn't make sense anymore. There's not a lot of places that develop film either for movies. So unless you have a Christopher Nolan budget, it's
Gonna say,
really.
maybe just talk to him next time.
Yeah, exactly. Next time I make my $200 million movie, I will shoot on film. But my very first job ever 24 years ago was at Cineplex Odeon in Vancouver, the Granville 7, if anyone remembers.
Yes, I was
Uh,
a I was an avid goer of that cinema.
we probably saw each other. I started in
Probably.
2000 and I worked my way up to being a projectionist, and I would spend hours in the booths threading the film and starting the movies and watching the flickering lights and watching the movies through the window and just like dreaming of like seeing my own movies on the screen. And so, this movie was my little homage to that start of my career. And not many people have noticed it. A few film festival programmers have been like, there's something wrong with your film." I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 it's on purpose. It's just a little
Something
real."
wrong with your film, and that's just shows you where we've come digitally. Like people
Yeah.
think it's something wrong.
Like, what is that? Yeah.
It's a glitch. Yeah, there's something. Yeah, because they're used to smooth, and
Yeah.
because a lot of people are having that same problem with a lot of movies being remastered in 4K, and they when the digital transfer happens, it smooths out the picture, and there's no grain like from movies from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, which is such a bummer. It's my favorite thing
Yeah,
watching film, like movies with grain.
I know.
It's so good. It's so good. The Holdovers has that
Yes.
real 70s film, and I think people are really into it. So hopefully they stop making everything to 4K.
Even the format, like
Yeah,
the
it was so
like
good.
the way it was, yeah. So Cinema Paradiso must have hit pretty close to home for you then,
Oh,
'cause,
I loved it. I loved it.
one of my favorites. This is a movie about adults, for adults, speaking about adult subjects,
Mm,
which we won't get into too much, but there's a lot of, and I mean adult conversation in the terms of people having real conversations. Like it's not
yeah.
just, hey, how's it going? I remember you from way back when, and but everything seems so real and in the moment. People when they're smoking, the three women are smoking the joint, and she's lying on her legs. Like that's something that friends, old
Yeah.
friends would do that have known each other for such a long time. And
Mhm.
even the men have candid moments where they're letting their emotions out, and I applaud you and the cast for allowing those moments to happen,
Oh, thank
because
you.
they're kind of rare now, because everything's a lot of movies are shot for um, either for the almighty dollar, or they're a
Mhm.
lot of them are shot for shock value.
Yeah.
I think for a good amount of movies, but then there's small films like yours that bring that slice of life.
Oh, thank you.
Um, I think one of the most poignant pieces in the film is when Michael goes and sits with Carrie on the rocks,
Yeah.
and they have that little tender moment, and he just reaches out and says, "Don't cry, or do cry. It doesn't matter." That just seemed like such a genuine moment, and how
Yeah,
you're allowing.
that was that Jesse added that line. There's not a lot of improv in the movie. The actors, stuck to the script for the most part, and if they had issues with it, we would have a conversation and talk it through and stuff. But there are little moments where the actors brought their flavor to it. And that was one of those moments where the line was "Don't cry," but then he added that "or do," whatever, and it was so perfect because it was really genuine in the moment of what was happening. I think that was the first scene that those two shot together, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a really great scene to shoot. And, God bless Jesse and Bronwyn for like climbing on those rocks and like getting over there. And my DP for like figuring out how to be on the rocks with the camera. So yeah, amazing team.
Well, it makes sense then, because she almost seemed to genuinely laugh at that remark that he did, or do cry. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes it more.
I mean, these are amazing actors. One of the keys to directing is to get a really great cast. And this entire cast took the script, took the characters, made them their own, and they all brought a really like authentic performance to it. So, lots of kudos goes out to them for doing such an incredible job.
Yeah, but you wrote and directed it
I
and
did.
produced it, and so you've brought those characters to life on paper, but they
Mhm.
helped
And
bring.
then and that's a really exciting thing that happened. So, I sit alone in my office and play with my imaginary friends in my head and create stories, and that's awesome and I love it. It's just by myself. And then at some point you hand that over to the actors, and what an actor can bring to what you wrote is just incredible. Like they bring so much depth and dimension to these characters, and they all were a million times better than I ever could have hoped for. So, like come see these performances. Oh my gosh. I can't say enough good things about these actors.
um as someone looking outward in,
Hmm.
I'm in the same boat. I can't say enough good things about these actors.
Yeah.
Every single performance was solid. Even the young actors.
Yeah, they were all great. Some of them that was their first movie.
Yeah, the young daughter who was angry at first, and then was
Yeah.
near the end. We won't
Yeah.
shed light as to what that was, but
Yeah, no,
you'll have to
Ella.
go see
Ella
the
Lucas, she was
see the movie.
fantastic.
Yeah, and the cinematography, some of the shots are just excellent.
Yeah, Sterling Bancroft is our cinematographer, and him and I have worked together for well over a decade. He shot almost every single film that I've ever made. And we've really created a bit of a shorthand, and him and I working together is just like, it's so great. He understands what I'm thinking, and really we collaborate really well together. And so there was nobody that I would have wanted to shoot my first movie other than Sterling. And it was really great. It was so much fun. And he's an incredible talent as well.
Yeah, and for this being your first film, I mean, you're getting representation. You're getting the film playing in Cineplex,
Yeah, which is a very full circle moment for me.
right?
'Cause
Very
yeah,
good.
that was my very first job, Cineplex Odeon, 24 years ago.
And now your wish has come true. You're getting to have your film screened at Cineplex.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the Cineplex that I worked at, the Granville 7 Cinemas, is no longer. That would have been incredible to to play
I
my
would,
film at that theater. But alas, we are playing at International Village, which is only a few minute drive away. So, it's close enough.
there was rumors about a year ago that Granville 7 was going to reopen.
Yeah, they're doing something there because I walked by it and there's some sort of construction. I don't know if it's gonna be like a Cineplex rec room. I heard a rumor about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so who knows? Oh, I do. I hope they reopen it. That would be so great. So many good memories of watching movies in that theater. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I remember going downstairs to the first level, and that was the THX theater.
Yeah, and theater number 7 up at the very top,
Yeah,
664 seats we had.
I know. Yeah, it was huge.
I would always turn it up just a little bit louder than it was supposed to be. And there was one seat. I figured out my seat. There was one seat in the theater that was my favorite seat. It had everything. It was like, it was just close enough to the speakers, but not too close. It was just the perfect way from the screen. And it weirdly was in a row that there was not a seat in front of it.
Oh,
It was perfect. If anyone was sitting in my seat, I'd be so angry.
you go, I'm the projectionist. Get your
Yeah,
point.
I'm like, get out of my chair.
That's reserved. That's reserved for me.
Permanently reserved.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if they tore it all down and did something else with it. I mean, there's some
Yeah,
theaters. They have the money. They could revive it.
they could. Granville 7 lives again. We'll make it happen.
Kevin Costner speaks. If you build it, they will come
Yeah.
or rebuild it. I didn't take a lot of notes because I wasn't sure how much of the film I could actually discuss with you.
Fair enough.
You did get a fair amount of uh, very recognizable songs we're able to use, starting off right at the get-go, right from the word go.
Yeah.
You want to talk about how you were able?
This is how we do it. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I have rights to sing that. I think I sung a small enough portion of it that I think it's okay. Music is
I think if it's under 20 seconds, you're okay.
perfect. Music is such an important part of this film. One of my inspirations, which I'm sure you saw because everyone who sees this movie sees it, is The Big Chill. I loved The Big Chill. It really inspired me to make an ensemble drama. And a big part of The Big Chill was the soundtrack. And a lot of my favorite movies from the 80s and 90s, which is, again, my inspiration, all have great soundtracks. So I really wanted to have music play a huge role in it. So, we were really lucky. We had an incredible composer named Red Janes who did the score as well as some of the original songs in the film. She actually wrote the song that two of the characters sing in the movie, not to give too much away, but there is a moment where two characters sing, and Red wrote that amazing, beautiful, perfect song. And then we had our music supervisors, Danica and Kyla, and they were able to get us a mixture of well-known songs and really cool up-and-coming indie artists. So, between the three of them, as well as Brandon, our music editor, these four amazingly talented people who can do things I can't even imagine doing, were able to put that music together.
Well, that's great because I was here, I was listening, I was watching.
We did pay for it. We did pay for it. It was very expensive. If anyone out there is like, I want to make a movie and I want to put music in it, let me tell you, music is not cheap.
No, that's why Spotify needs to pay artists more,
Mm-hmm.
but that's another discussion
That's a whole other discussion.
that I could speak to musicians all day about, I'm sure. Because they're the
Just
ones
like actors with residuals on streaming.
yeah, or the problem with AI, the whole reason
Oh yeah.
the actors strike began to begin with. So
Oh yeah, I walked in a circle a lot down in LA this summer. I'm a SAG member, so it was a lot of just walking around with my sign.
I admire the dedication. You know, that's your craft. That's what you folks live and breathe for, and the
Yeah.
public pays for it, and the studios are blind to the fact that this is their bread and butter. You know, this is what makes their doors open and their lights go on and their CEOs get paid.
Yeah, the artists make the art, so let's just share in the profits.
They can't.
Seems easy to me.
Yeah, well, you guys had to go on strike to make the point, though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Well, at the end of the film,
Mhm.
I'm one of those nerds who watches the credits. Forgive me.
Excellent. No, no, please. Every single person whose name is at the end of the credits worked really hard. And so thank you. Thank you for watching that and recognizing every single person. I'm the one that's out here doing the press and talking, and the actors are out front as well. But, we didn't make this by ourselves. We had an
No.
incredible team behind us from, my producer, Krista Rand. I gotta give her a shout out. She is the glue that held this whole thing together. She is producer extraordinaire. I cannot praise her enough. She is amazing, as was every single person that worked on the movie.
Well, when I take my kids to the movies, they jump out of the as soon as the lights go on, half of the more well, let's be real, more than half of the theater
Mhm.
empties out. And everybody's in their car by the time the final
Yeah,
name is rolled. I tell my kids to sit back down. I said, if it wasn't for all these people, we wouldn't have a movie to watch.
absolutely.
And people don't realize that the runtime includes the credits.
It does. It does.
I have over I have 1,000 movies here in my home.
Oh, I love that.
So when yours comes available on DVD or home media of some sort, I'll be
Yeah.
buying it.
I'm into physical copies. If I have to make them myself, we'll have a DVD or Blu-ray or something at some point in time, because yeah, I'm
Okay.
a big fan of physical copies. I still have all mine as well.
Well, speaking of the end credits, you do have a tribute to Nancy Anderson.
Hmm.
Was
Yeah,
that a personal friend of yours, or is that
yeah,
some?
so Nancy, it was her house that we filmed at.
Okay.
And her daughter Krista, I actually went to high school with her, and then Krista, our producer, was friends with her separately, and they very generously allowed us to film in their home. Um, and she unfortunately passed away very suddenly after we shot the movie,
Oh,
and we just really wanted to pay tribute to her, because without her and her family, we wouldn't have had anywhere to shoot. And they were so kind to us, and she was a wonderful human being, and we just, yeah, we wanted to thank her.
well, that's a nice tribute. My mother actually, her last place before she passed, she lived on Bowen Island. So
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
wow.
so a lot of yeah, it was such a beautiful home that you shot in.
It was very beautiful. It
absolutely.
was a few homes. We shot in a few different
Oh,
places.
trickery with the camera.
Mhm. A little bit. The like 90%, all the interiors were in one place, but some of the exteriors were different places. Behind the scenes secrets.
Oh, well, that's the name of my website is behind the scenes, so.
Ah, fantastic.
Because my enjoyment of film was always, seen behind the scenes, uh,
Mhm.
like the makings of.
Yeah,
Give
pull
me
back the
better,
curtain. I love it.
yeah, gave me more appreciation for the art and the craft of making a movie. And then when I took film editing in film school, um, it even broadened my hook more,
Mhm.
because it was all hand, it was all the film negatives. So we had the film, then you have the audio, and then you have
Yeah.
the
Wow,
soundtrack.
you edited on real film. That's
Real
so
film, yeah.
fantastic. Oh, jealous. That's so great.
How did you get such remarkable? Okay, we've already gone over how great your actors are,
Mhm.
but some of those moments, wow, like
Yeah. I think
without giving too much away.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think what I was able to do is give the actors space to be. And one of the ways that we did that is I didn't overshoot. And what I mean by that for any of your viewers who aren't filmmakers, what happens a lot is you shoot a lot of coverage.
right.
So a lot of different camera angles and lenses, and you just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. And so that you have lots of options of how to edit it all together. But that is very exhausting for actors, and I knew the aesthetic that I wanted and the performances that I wanted from the actors. I knew that if we shot that way, it just wasn't gonna work. So we shot it in a way that allowed the actors to breathe, that it felt more like they were doing theater than they were doing film. Sometimes we only did one camera angle, and what that allowed is for them to give their best performance every single time. And you really felt that in there's a big scene, a big reveal scene, where all of the characters have things that come to the surface. And that scene, we didn't shoot it that much. And so what it allowed is every actor gave it every time, even when they weren't on camera. And that is such a gift to their fellow actor. So
Mm.
all of them were just able to be so present. And I think it worked out really well. And I think they appreciated it. I think I don't want to mean to speak for them, but that's, I think, how we were able to get those performances specifically, giving the actors space.
It definitely comes across in the film. I know for instance Clint Eastwood, he does that. He shoots very few scenes. Like he will make sure his actors are on set and they know their lines, and because he doesn't like to shoot too many scenes, just like yourself.
Yeah.
Because it allows them that emotion, right?
Yeah. It also means as a filmmaker, you have to really know what you want and be
Right.
really clear with how it's going to cut together. Because if you give yourself tons of options, then in the edit it can be easier. But then that takes away from what's your vision. What is it that you want? And when you're really clear about that, then you're able to just do the shots that you need and not overshoot the scene.
Well, I think your film is exceptional.
Oh,
I
thank
hope it
you.
comes up for some awards.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
I honestly mean that. Like I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you. I would say that regardless. I'll say that in my review too.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
So we're running short of time. Is there anything else you want to add? I know you're doing press now for the film because like you said, you're in Toronto right now and then you're gonna be in
Vancouver
Vancouver.
on Saturday. When is this going to air, or when are people going to see it or hear it or
Hoping,
read about it?
I'm hoping to have it up today.
Oh,
Post it,
fantastic.
I'll post
Wonderful.
it on my YouTube channel.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So if you're in Toronto, please come check us out at the Cineplex at Yonge and Dundas. I will be there tomorrow for the 7 p.m. screening to do a Q&A afterwards, but it's playing all week, 4 shows a day, so please come and see it. If you're in Vancouver, please come to International Village again, 4 shows a day starting tomorrow. We'd love people to come this weekend. You know, for indie film, your weekend box office numbers really mean a lot. It means whether or not your film will get held over. It means things for, you know, me making films in the future.
Yeah,
So come support indie film, please. That would be amazing. And if you're in Victoria, we're doing a one-night screening on Sunday at the Vic Theatre, downtown Victoria at 4:40. There's still lots of tickets left for that. I will be there along with the my producer, Krista Rand, David Lewis, who plays Danny, and Bronwyn Smith, who plays Carrie. So we'll be there. And then if you don't live in any of those cities, then at some point in the spring, it will be coming on video on demand. So anywhere that you can digitally rent a movie, you'll be able to do that at some point. I don't have the exact dates for that yet, but at some point you'll be able to do that.
I'll be sending out a press release. I'm sure Nicola will send me the press release and I'll be sure to put it out there.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet.
No problem. I love supporting independent film.
Oh,
Hollywood has all the money to
they
put
do. They already have the support.
yeah, because they've got the big name actors and
They
these are
do.
the smaller films. And with the also one last thing, I noticed that Jesse L. Martin wrote one of the songs as well, and he
did.
co-sang it.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
spectacular. Jesse L. Martin from the original Broadway cast of Rent
wow,
wrote a song for my movie. It's kind of the coolest thing ever. It's just he is such a talent, just like all of them, but you know, him doing that was really like, whew, it was pretty cool.
it was the icing on the cake.
Oh,
So
it really
great.
was. It really was.
Well, congratulations, you and your cast
Thank
and your crews should be proud. You've got an exceptional film. I hope it does extremely well. Even if people, we should say, even if people don't live in those cities, support independent film.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. It doesn't have to be my film. Please support any film. Hey, Victor is also opening this weekend.
Yes, it
in
is.
tons of cineplexes across the country.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I've seen it. It's so funny. Please
It's
go see Hey
hilarious.
Victor as well.
It's hilarious. I love that movie.
Yeah, I don't know if Seagrass is still playing, but Seagrass also BC Film.
Yes.
Go see that. That one's also amazing. Yes, please go support independent cinema and Canadian independent cinema. Please, please, please.
I was going to also add that if you can't go, just buy a ticket. Support the film. You can buy tickets online.
And then rent the movies when they come on your, you know, your Apple TV or your.
Because people will do
regular
that
TV.
with big blockbuster movies, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. Thank you. Support
No,
film.
thank you for the film. I'm happy I got to see it, and it was a pleasure to speak with you.
It was really nice to meet you as well.
Hopefully we'll see each other in the future.
I hope so too.
We'll be talking about your next film.
Oh, I hope so.
All the best to you. Take care.
All right,
Have a great debut.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.